chance to win and got dominated. It's not like I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Not like you didn't have two chances
yeah,
at it.
so I was going to say 2 chances. You could have beat us in the last game of the season for the 1 seed. Although if you were the 1 seed and at home, we still would have kicked your butt.
It's not like I'm going to remind you that it was never even close.
No.
Yeah.
What was the score? Was it close?
41-6 is not close.
Oh, no, that's not close.
I looked that up
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah.
Googled it.
I had to ask
Gronk.
I had to ask
Yeah.
Gronk. And it's like,
I asked-
that's not considered close in an NFL game.
I asked Gronk and if that was close, and
Oh.
he said, "We're gonna find out, Ashley."
Oh, that's cool, Gronk.
Yeah. It seems to say that every single time I ask Gronk.
It's not the best. He doesn't give the best, most informative answers, but at the same time, I get what he's telling me.
We've got your Friday Ocho coming up at the top of the hour. Seahawks are going to be wearing their all-blue uniforms. And, of course, Seahawk fans don't want them to wear their all-blue uniforms. They want them to wear the throwbacks, the silver helmets. Those are the best-looking uniforms that we have in the closet. And maybe the best-looking uniforms in the National Football League right now. Who knows? But the rules of the NFL state, no, you can only choose from these uniforms that you submitted at the beginning of the year and these color combinations. And so of the color combinations that were available to them, I think they chose the right ones, the all blue uniforms. So
Yeah.
I like those uniforms the best that the Seahawks have. But, of course, we all like the throwbacks better. Look, I get why the NFL has to have these strange rules and people think it's the no fun league. Peyton Manning one time wanted to pay tribute to Johnny Unitas, so he wanted to wear black high tops in the game. And they stopped him from doing it, and people were out of their minds. How could you stop Peyton Manning, best player in the league, arguably, from paying tribute to Johnny Unitas in the Colts uniform? And the league was like, we have these rules. We've got to stick by them. Otherwise, we've got to break them for everybody. I mean, what if J.J. Watt's great-grandma died and she was a prima ballerina? We can't have J.J. Watt wearing a tutu paying tribute to his great-granny.
It could be a great tribute.
Yeah, we can't do that. We can't open up that door. So this is why we have these strict rules. So I get why they have these rules and I get why they're strict. I would just recommend, how about, because you do allow the throwbacks. Why don't you just choose what you think is the best looking uniform then, NFL? Because I don't think you're going to pick that uniform. I think you're going to pick the throwback. And I think you're going to pick the Patriots throwback too. Because those are the 2 sexiest uniforms right now in the world.
That would be an amazing uniform battle because I do like both of those throwbacks. I don't know why they actually have to make all the strict rules. I mean, I get what you're saying, and yet I still think money-wise it makes sense. I think that there's room for. I mean, your socks got to be a certain height and all that stuff. You're just trying to basically make a blatant statement that we're going to look professional. We're not going to have a bunch of, as Ed Chef would say, raggedy-ass redbirds. We're not going to just be out there looking all weird and different. It's a uniform for a reason. That said, if they all wear the same uniform, I don't know why you're wanting it to be anything less than what the majority of people would want.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, why are you sticking to the rules to the point where you're hindering the product? Like, most people, I'll bet you, most Patriot fans would love them to wear their throwbacks. I'm certain that most Seahawk fans would want them to do it.
Here's what I'd throw back at that, just to defend them a little bit. Because if the Padres ever made it to the World Series and wore those god-awful pink and green monstrosities that they have as their City Connect.
Oh, those are terrible.
They are terrible. So I get why you wouldn't want their worst looking uniform, and yet the players love them for some reason. I mean, there are a few of those that are out there too. Like, I don't want the Steelers to pick those yellow and black
Oh.
striped things.
The bumblebee
those
ones?
Bumblebee ones from Throwback. I don't want
Some of the Packers throwbacks are horrible
Yeah,
too.
I can't have that. So if the players vote for that or the fans vote for it, I can't have that awful looking uniform. So you just pick so if that's the case, then the NFL, they submit 5 at the beginning of the season, and you pick the one that you really think is the best looking. And if you think it's our all dark blue ones versus our throwback lighter blue, so be it, I guess, but I don't think you're going to pick that.
No, I don't think so either. And I think, the team should rank them. Like, this is our first choice, this is our second choice, this is our third choice, these are our combos. And then, let them decide. I would agree. I don't think they would. I think they'd go with Throwback.
I'm just going to say, I'm glad they don't let them wear the Chartreuse Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yes, exactly. What if they voted for that?
I wouldn't watch the game.
Luckily, I don't even think we have those anymore, thank goodness, because my eyes are getting
Thank
old.
the
They
Lord.
can't handle that much brightness.
Thank you. Good. Ashley, I'm a girl.
I've never liked them.
Oh.
All right, Ocho's next. 8 top stories of the day on KJR.
San Francisco. We're loading up the bus and heading to the city by the bay. Join your home for the 12th Man live from Super Bowl 60's Radio Row. It all starts Monday with Chuck and Buck, and brought to you by Delta Airlines, by Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, the Evergreen Council on Problem Gambling, and by the PCF Group. Don't miss a second of the festivities live on the free iHeartRadio app and Sports Radio 93.3, KJR FM.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders.
Hearing reports of an accident on the shoulder in Seattle on northbound I-5, a little bit north of I-90. I'm seeing fairly typical delays, though, as you approach the scene. Those all begin around Albro. It does create a bit of a backup for eastbound drivers coming off the West Seattle Bridge. In the Overlake area, there's a crash traveling southbound on 148th at 24th. Limit to Seattle, 28 minutes. Limit to Bellevue, just over a half hour. That's traffic.
Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
Reset your preset to Ian Furness, presented by Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Nobody likes Mondays. Mondays, absolutely, they're just not fun. You don't like, I like Mondays, you don't like Mondays, none of us like Mondays. But this Monday was different. It should be different. Now, it could get even better in 2 weeks. That Monday might be a lot better.
1 to 3 weekdays on Sports Radio 93.3, KJR FM.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street at a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
Hey, Softy here. There are certain things your grandparents did that you may not want any part of. Those avocado-colored drapes, for example. My God. But the fact that they were AAA Washington members, that is just common sense. Help on the road no matter where you are. Flat tires, empty gas tank, and more. 24/7 roadside assistance. All the perks like deals on shopping, dining, and more that come along with it. So be like your grandparents and join AAA Washington today and get the same peace of mind that so many have had for over 120 years. Find out more tonight at AAAWAD.com/join.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Well, unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Oh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Local radio isn't just music. It's your community.
The voices you know, the news you trust, and the conversations that matter.
It's all on the free iHeartRadio app.
The #1 app for radio. Join the millions who already have it on their smartphone.
iHeartRadio.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Your home for Super Bowl 60.
Seattle Seahawks.
New England Patriots.
Sports Radio 93.3, KJRFM Seattle, an iHeart radio station.
Let's go 12.
Guaranteed human. It's time for the Ocho. The best 12 minutes of 8 minutes of radio. Brought to you by the rich, complex flavor of Pendleton whiskey. Weather Bud. Please drink responsibly.
We've been playing that for years now, and it's maybe my favorite line ever in radio history.
Wow, that's a lot.
The best 12 minutes of radio in a 20-minute segment.
Yeah. Yeah, I too like things that make sense even while they make zero.
I think it's such a great line. But that's my sense of humor. So, and I didn't write that.
No.
I don't know. I mean, we used to kind of joke about that. Yeah, and then we ended up sending it over to Vic, and he put that together. He actually got around to that promptly.
Yeah, well done, Vic. I think that
the way you used to do things. Vic.
I think when we first started, it was supposed to be, or we branded it as the 8 top stories in 8 minutes, and then we realized that we never were even close.
Right.
And we weren't even really trying to be close. Why did we say we were going to do it in 8 minutes?
Right.
So then it was something along the line of we BS'd for a few minutes and then got into it, and it was about 12 minutes. And then now it's like, no, it's the full 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's the Ocho, 8 minutes of 12 minutes of radio, 20 minutes.
I love it. Anyway, I think you just got to acknowledge it every once in a while. Your cash word this hour is gold. I love gold. 93.3KJR.com. Enter that for a shot at $1,000 in Power Play Cash. It is a Football Friday sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka. And we get things started with your Ocho here this hour. Your 8 top stories of the day to get you ready for the weekend and also wrap up the week. And there is no bigger story in the world than Super Bowl 60. We are just 9 sleeps away from Seahawks versus Patriots next Sunday in Santa Clara, California, to decide the World Championship. Chris Collinsworth's going to be on the call on NBC next Sunday alongside Mike Tirico. Chris Collinsworth joined Softy and Fane. I don't know why Tirico's such a snob, but Collinsworth joined Softy and Fane yesterday afternoon and talked about this matchup.
I will say about whenever it was, about mid-season, maybe a little bit after that, we had Seattle and Washington. And when I was doing the tape, I always put together tapes to preview the two teams. And I came in our meetings afterwards and I said, I think Seattle's going to go to the Super Bowl. And everybody went berserk. Everybody's like, get out. What are you talking? You know, one of those kind of things. And I said, no. I go, this defense has something going on. I mean, they really do. And even today, as I'm studying, getting ready for the game, you can feel the intensity of that defense. You can just feel it on every snap. That is a hungry defense. And
Chris Collinsworth, if you want to hear the entire conversation, you can do so. 93.3KJR.com will be on Softy and